Welcome to this game preview. Barry Butel alongside John Congemi. We come to you from the club level at Sun Life Stadium. The Dolphins at Dallas this evening at Cowboys Stadium. That stadium, well, there's been a little bit of talk about that stadium apparently.
A big buzz, yeah. It's a big place, and it has boards just from 20 to 20. I think it's an awesome place. I've never been there, but we've all seen it on TV. I wish I was going and be there tonight for the football game, but it's going to be a pretty special place. A lot of homecomings, if you will, with Coach Parcells coming back, Coach Sperano, Jeff Ireland, Anthony Fasano, Lusaka Polite. A lot of guys going back home for a shake of hands, pat on the back, and then get down to business.
It is the fourth and final preseason game. Typically, starters not in there very long before they're sitting on their helmets on the sidelines. This might not be the case tonight.
I think this is going to have a little bit different feel tonight. You want to see that first offensive unit go out and get some balance, get some stability with the running game, and move people off the line of scrimmage, and get some rhythm in the pass offense with Henne to Marshall, Henne to Bess, Henne to Hartline. You want to move the football around a little bit, then get those guys out of there, and then let the battles begin for the bubble positions.
Would you like to see the running game established?
I think so. I want to see people move other people that don't really want to go anywhere off the line of scrimmage, because that's how you win games in the National Football League. Yes, it's a quarterback-driven league. Yes, you can throw the football because of the rules, but it all comes down to moving people on the line of scrimmage, and I think the Dolphins have to establish that, because with the gauntlet schedule they have early in the season, they're going to have to run the football.
And for a couple of guys perhaps along that offensive front that are on the bubble, this is their final opportunity.
Yeah, I think two guys in particular with Murtha and Gardner on the outside, they have to establish themselves. I know that Vernon Carey and the big fella, Jake Long, is going to be out of the game early. So you want to see these guys get into the football game, get a little lather going, and see how well they play, because they got a little bit of a look last week. I was not really impressed with the offensive line, what they did last week, so hopefully it'll be better tonight.
Now when you go to the other side of the ball and the Cowboys offense, it seems like Tony Romo is definitely the captain of that ship offensively, but Des Bryant looks like he's returning from an injury.
He's going to get an opportunity tonight to showcase his ability, a rookie out of Oklahoma State. This is a guy who's a playmaker. A lot of questions coming into the draft. What kind of person was he off the field? No questions on the field. This guy is very productive, and now that he's healthy again, I would look to see Tony Romo try to work him into the offense a little bit early, and no matter who plays quarterback after that point, try to get Des Bryant some reps.
The Cowboys have had some changes along the offensive front, so that'll be a key this evening to take a look at, see how some younger guys are playing along their front as well.
Yeah, I think both offensive lines in question with some backup positions up for grabs tonight, so it's going to be a good situation to watch the tackles for the Cowboys, but more importantly for the Dolphins side of things, see how they can run the football early and if they can be effective moving people off the line of scrimmage.
Romo and the Cowboys going up against the Dolphins defense. It has Tim Dobbins now in there tonight for the injured Channing Crowder and some other guys that perhaps are fighting for spots.
I think Micah Johnson's one of those guys. He's been very productive in the preseason and at practice and on special teams. So a guy like that you want to keep your eye on, as well as Spittler and J.D. Folsom. There's another guys in the mix at linebacker. How can they play on special teams? Can they make some open field tackles to open some eyes? I think another spot is wide receiver. I think the fourth and fifth position are really up for grabs. You have multiple people trying to get those positions. So when you take it a guy like Marlon Moore, who had a spectacular game, I thought last week was one of the bright spots, and you had Patrick Turner into that mix, Roberto Wallace into that mix. Who's going to make plays tonight? That's going to be what the coaches are looking for. Who's going to stand out and make my decision a difficult one?
Kim Bokamper saying in yesterday's edition of Finsiders TV, if you see a guy that's uniform isn't dirty in that fourth quarter and not a lot of sweat, may not be a good outcome for him.
It's not a good sign, because if you're a guy looking for a roster spot on that final 53, you want to be able to be productive tonight. You have to go out and make a name for yourself. This was a big week of practice leading up to this game tonight, but tonight is when the lights come on and when you can really shine under the bright lights in Dallas, Texas. So you want to be able to come out and have a nice performance.
And finally, albeit a preseason game, it's going to be loud at Cowboys Stadium, and as we talked earlier in the week, it's a good experience going into that first two games on the road.
Yeah, I think it'll be a pretty good dress rehearsal, Barry, to see what the Dolphins come out with, and some of the younger guys that have never got to experience this in an NFL pressure situation of trying to make a roster, because not only if you don't make this roster, you need to bode well so you can get yourself maybe somewhere else. So the Dolphins want to pick the best 53 that they can, and this is the final opportunity to impress.
Should be a great matchup tonight in the Lone Star State. Cowboys Stadium, the Cowboys and the Dolphins complete coverage on 940 Wins on the AM dial, and on the FM side, Big 105.9 in the Miami market. And remember, complete coverage on Dolphins.com and thefinsiders.com. That'll do it for the game preview. For John Congemi, I'm Barry Butel.